Aperture is a felt sensation. It's like our vision. When we see things, we don't stop to analyze how many photons are hitting our retina and what the pattern of them is in order to understand what we're seeing. We open our eyes and we see something. The felt sensation of openness is like that. When we open to the fact that there is a felt sensation like that, we notice, I'm open right now, I'm closed right now. That's true for many people, and it's not true for everybody, because this sensation is often ignored to the point that we kind of lose track of how to do it, just like we can lose track of how to do anything that we ignore for a while. So there are other ways to get to this that I'm going to suggest to you, because it's very important, obviously, that to your relationships and your conversation, that you learn to tune into your own aperture and you learn to have a direct sensation of what that is. So another way to get there is in your body. Many of us are very kinesthetic. Often closedness feels like hardness, coldness, that kind of thing and especially in the core of your body, in your abdomen and your chest cavity. Whereas openness feels soft, warm. Also, openness can feel like relaxed, trusting, calm, curious. Closed would feel like tense, untrusting, closed to a new idea, not curious. So these are some other ways to start to point yourself in the direction of what is this openness that Catherine's talking about. Another way is that openness is that state where you're capable of those things that we all most want to be able to do in our important conversations. Things like being patient, being a good listener, being compassionate, being open to ideas that are different than our own. All of those things happen from a state of openness. And when we're closed, we find it very difficult to do those things. So that's another way to understand what openness is. One last pass at this so that you can start to work with how to find your openness. Openness is like your breath. So close your eyes again for a moment and start to notice your breath. Put all of your attention on your breath. Notice your in-breath and your out-breath and the flow of this rhythm of in-breath and out-breath. And just spend a few seconds noticing that in-breath, out-breath. Then open your eyes and be aware, again, mindfully, that until I said, close your eyes and pay attention to your breath, you probably weren't aware of your breathing, and it was going on the whole time I was talking to you. So the breathing was always going on, but you weren't aware of it. Aperture is like that. Our apertures to each other and to the world, because after all, we also have apertures to things other than people. Imagine you're going to a museum and you go there and your aperture is wide open and you have a wonderful experience of being fully in contact with the paintings on the wall and enjoying them and maybe even feeling emotions as you look at them. Imagine a different day where you go to the museum and you're kind of tired and cranky and it doesn't land. You're not enjoying the pictures. In fact, you can't even quite figure out what to look at and you just want to go home. That's closed. So we have a constantly closing and opening aperture to the whole world, but especially to other people that we're around. So aperture is there, always in the background, modulating our experience and our contact with the world and with other people. And I'm suggesting we can, like the breath, turn our attention to it, especially when we're interacting, and especially when those interactions get hard. And I'm going to get to what do you do when a conversation that really matters to you gets difficult. And one of those things is you turn your attention to your own aperture.